I've been having a lot of fun with playing Fleet Commander with a pile of Conquests and Tempests lately. Here is the battle. I will talk about the specific ship builds, weapons, officer skills, and player skills all at the end of the video. So stick around after the fight is over if you want to see that. Anyway, roll footage. Hey, I think that went pretty well. This is my first ever kind of late game-ish fleet that I've made, and I'm pretty happy with it. I will now very briefly demonstrate the build. So until I found level 7 officers, every officer in a conquest had this loadout, and then I demoted them to Tempest pilots as I discovered the level 7s while exploring. Most important things here are elite target analysis and elite ballistics mastery for more DACA. We are also very heavily spec'd into missiles. We have missile specialization as a skill and expanded missile racks, so these squalls can fire for as long as possible and be as effective as possible. Edge case things that you could probably easily change or think of upgrades for. The IR auto lance could take or leave, but I really like them. And these gazers in the medium mounts, they don't always fire. You might trade those for another missile, I don't know. It is also debatable whether to keep flux conduits and engine assembly on the ship. You could trade those out for more DACA or other things, but I like to have the EMP resistance and not get my stuff disabled. And lastly, weapon groups. There's nothing special here. This is just what it gave me when I clicked auto assign. Wait, never mind, it changed it. Okay, well, there's weapon groups. Nothing fancy, especially because I'm not player piloting any of this. Tempest. To fly away, to be annoying, and to duel other frigates to the death. Once again, our officer has missile spec, and we have expanded missile racks for many, many sabos. Very useful when these guys get behind like an onslaught or another slow jonker of a ship. Weapon groups, again, nothing fancy. I don't know why this officer doesn't have elite skills. That is an ex-conquest officer that I demoted. That one doesn't have elite skills. Okay, this one has elite skills, although point defense instead of helmsmanship. But for elite skills, I've gone for system expertise and gunnery implants. System expertise for 10% damage reduction for more dueling, and gunnery implants for the bonus ECM. Lastly, captain skills. Because this is sort of a fleet commander / auto battler build, nothing in red. We have a lot of investment in our officers. I might trade out Best of Best for something else now that I have all my S-mods into the combat ships. I think flux regulation is very important. 10% bonus dissipation and 10% bonus capacity probably leads to more than 10% uptime firing guns before a ship is overwhelmed or has to retreat. The industry tree is kind of take it or leave it. It depends on what you're getting into. I like not having to pay to remove D-mods. That was especially important before I had good officers and S-mods and everything. So you might drop the industry tree if you're doing this and go in for more blue or green, or red if you want to personally pilot one of the conquests yourself. Definitely though, maybe keep field repairs if you plan on doing a bunch of fights back to back. It's pretty good value, I think. Those are my thoughts. That's the build. You can fight with it basically anything that shows up in the bounty tab. And of course, you can take down select single Remnant Ordos. The fleet does not perform very well against the red jellyfish at the end of the game. Don't recommend trying that. Have not tested it extensively against the other new endgame enemy, so your mileage may vary. But for getting yourself from mid-game all the way to the start of late game, I think this might be a good choice if you don't want to personally pilot. I've had a lot of fun with it. I've played it a ton, and I think I'm ready to put it down and build something else. So with that said, I'll say roll credits, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye for now. Oh, dang it. I was in the middle of getting ready to use this Paragon, but I forgot to talk about something. I didn't tell you about the monitor. The monitor isn't doing anything impressive. There were more of these when I went to do the battle, but alas, I'm already in the middle of designing something else. Hardened shields, hardened subsystem, solar shielding, be tanky, take extended shields so that they have full coverage instead of leaving a vulnerable spot. Tactical laser is the main thing to keep annoying enemies and force them to have their shields up. The light mortar is there just in case a monitor needs to deal a smidge of damage, which hopefully they don't. Weapon groups are nothing fancy. Okay, now roll the outro.